her. Thank you. Dad left right. And I knew that what that means, but my dad's not here right now. Can you say hi, John? Hi, John. So underrated. Why? Huh? What is a Therian? Oh my god. I get answers too much. You generally sound so sweet. Thank you. What is a Therian? I'm a Tiger Therian too. Oh my god! I've only met 2 Tiger Therians in my life. Are you a Therian? I am a Therian. Hi, Aurora. You're underage. That's why. I am not underaged. Do you do vocals? Yes. Can you make a box mask? Sure. Put on my Etsy? Yes. What made you decide to be a Therian? I did not decide to be a Therian. How old are you? 13. I know I shouldn't be saying that. I'm not going to say that anymore. You stop saying mean people. Okay, Bobby, we'll see. What does that mean? Hi, Mother Paul. What time is it for you? 10:30. Do you wear a mask to school? No. Do you wear your beard to school? Sometimes my tail. Face real. No. People will think I'm 6. Can you make a cheetah mask next? Sure. Dang, you look young. I know. I get that a lot. I'm a Toxarian. Good for you. Do people follow you? Yes. What is your Etsy? I do not have it up right now, so. For you seem so nice. Thank you. I will make a fox mask. Love your mask. I love your mask. It's so pretty. Thank you. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Do you live in Florida? I do not live in Florida.
You have arrived at your destination.
Trash. I'm a big fan. I want to be just like you. Thank you. God did not make you like this. Okay. Love your mask. What do you mean you didn't decide to be a Therian? It's not a choice. How long did you make that mask? 4 hours. Okay. I'm gonna continue this. Alexa, play Army Dreamers by Kate Bush.
Army Dreamers by Kate Bush from Spotify.
Alexa, volume up 1. Well, that was perfect. There we go. Pretty good. Oh, my guinea pig's name is Gigi and Ginger. So G-I-G-I and Ginger. Can you smile? What the fuck up, you new Jesus? Cool. Say hi, Zora. I'm a really big fan. Thank you. You're so cool. Thank you. Do you got a BF? Yes. English or Spanish? Both. I'm gonna plug in my phone because. I am so sorry. I'm sorry. I have to end the live because my phone's at 2. So I'll be right back because I don't have a charger with me. Is that? Okay. So everyone's who's in here, go to my next live because it's about to die. So bye.
Insane, Clark!
for new app users.
You don't have the attention span for that, neither does chat. You wait, all it bid is 2 hours? No. Next book. The creepiest cases of people disappearing. And welcome back to Scary and Interesting. In this video, we're going to 3 incredibly creepy and unsolved disappearances. In the final story, you'll think you know what's going on. The story is kind of dry, but there was something found at the end. Yeah, I see what you're doing there. You're baiting me. You're baiting me to watch the whole video. Just wait until the end. It gets crazy in the end, you son of a bitch. Which completely changes everything, and it is horrifying. As always, viewer discretion is advised.
I know exactly when.
On the evening of March, I don't know if that's copyrighted, but I feel like it is 31st, 2006. 27-year-old Brian and his father Randy were sitting at a table inside the Outback Steakhouse in Columbus, Ohio. Brian was successful student working his way through medical school, and just early that day he attended his last class before the official start of spring break. Brian and his longtime girlfriend Alexis also had plane tickets to spend the week in Miami, and the couple was very much looking forward to the trip. He had even dropped a few hints that he might pop the question, but as big a deal as that was, the father and son could only focus on one topic. Anal? He's gonna pop the question? Damn. That early, huh? I mean, honestly, you better, like, if you're asking for anal, you better make it a special occasion. You better make it a special occasion, you know what I'm saying? 3 weeks earlier, Randy's wife and Brian's mother, Renee, tragically passed away after a battle with cancer. The family was a close family, and along with Brian's brother, Derek, they remained so even with Brian in the midst of a demanding medical school curriculum. In fact, staying close to the family was one of the biggest reasons Brian stuck around to attend Ohio State University. His plans for the future were a source of pride for the family, and his parents were looking forward to it. Yeah, you have to get on one knee to ask for English. You guys know the rules. You guys know the rules. Next phase of their lives was they hope to include grandchildren one day. It's tragic how quickly things change. Get on your knee, open up the ring thing. It's just a chocolate Hershey's kiss. Will you let me, stick it in your diddle your fart box? Put my dinky in your stinky. And such happy hopes of the future were the furthest thing from their minds over dinner. When they finished eating, the two walked to the parking lot and shared a long hug before they went their separate ways. It was a cathartic conversation for both of them, and Brian felt the need to blow off some steam that night. So at around 9 p.m., he called Alexis to check in and let her know that he and his friend Clint were going to head over to some bar hopping. Great. What do you mean? Without That's how I asked Amy. Since his mom's passing, Alexis was That's how I asked Amy, Chet. encouraged to see him wanted to have some fun. So she told him she loved him and wished him a fun and safe night out. The two friends then started going from bar to bar, stopping to have a shot at each before moving on to the next to do the same there. Just after midnight on April 1st, Brian and Clint ran into a mutual friend, Meredith, at a bar. Are these all AI images? Illustrative image. I think these are all AI.
Finished the night at the Ugly Tuna Saloon, which was a restaurant by day and live music club by night. The three friends arrived at 1:15 a.m. with the bar set to close at 2 a.m. They had just made it before last call. Then, after enjoying a drink together, Brian got separated from them and resurfaced at 1:55 a.m. when he was seen outside the Ugly Tuna saying goodbye to two women. As they turned to leave, Brian then re-entered the saloon. Minutes after he turned back to go inside, Clint and Meredith stood waiting for him in front of the bar to head home, but Brian never showed up. After a while, they figured he must have walked back or found another ride, so the two said goodbye before going their separate ways. This was the last time Brian was ever seen, and it didn't take long later that day for those
To have anal? Dan, I'm not the Rizzler like you are, Big.
close to Brian to realize something was appeared wrong. Alexis didn't hear from Brian at all on April 1st, which was highly unusual. Derek also couldn't get a hold of him, and initially both he and Alexis figured he was just sleeping off the night out. They also entertained the possibility that Brian was playing a joke on them. It was April Fool's Day after all, but soon enough it was clear that it wasn't a joke. Alexis eventually went over to his apartment and let herself in, but it was immediately clear that Brian had returned the night before. Her anxiety immediately increased as she found this and decided to wait in the apartment until he came home, but he just never did. April 1st then ended, and April 2nd didn't produce any sign or word of him either. However, with 2 plane tickets for April 3rd and a trip the couple had been counting down toward, Brian had to show up before they were scheduled to leave. But,
Bro, let me guess. They waited all the way until vacation today to file a missing person report.
that just didn't happen either. With his friends and family by then extremely concerned about him, the police were contacted and Brian was reported missing. The case fell to the Columbus Police Department, and after learning about Brian's movements on the night he disappeared, they requested security footage from the Ugly Tuna. The
video backed up what they were told by Clint and Meredith, but as they continued to watch the footage, minutes went by after Brian ran to the saloon. By the time the tape ended, there was absolutely no sign of him anywhere, and of the ways out of the saloon, only one was not covered by a security camera.
Alien?
There was a back door that musicians used to load in and out of, and exiting that door would have put Brian in the middle of a construction area. But even without a camera at that door to catch him leaving, there were cameras from other bars that would have picked him up in that area, yet he was never seen again after re-entering the Ugly Tuna. When Brian exited the camera frame that night, it was like he vanished out of thin air.
Man, that sucks. When you... And I was gonna make a terrible joke. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say it.
The subsequent investigation included hundreds of interviews with witnesses and people close to Brian. Video footage from his night out was scrutinized over and over again, but police only hit dead end.
He got
after dead
flushed?
end. While gathering as much information as possible, police were monitoring Brian's cell phone, bank account, and credit card for activity. There was none. So, based on the information they had, police narrowed down what may have happened to Brian down to 3 possibilities.
It's like 76% chance of death for missing persons after like a few hours, but I'm pretty sure that's for missing children cases.
The first was that he walked away from his life to
Several hours?
start a new one elsewhere. The second was that he left the bar and went somewhere to end things. And the final was that his disappearance was the result of foul play. Every one of these possibilities had issues, though. The whole family was reeling at
He's been mewing. This guy's a mewer.
the time. The dinner with Randy Euler that night on March 31st was an emotional one, but before the two parted ways, Brian assured his father that he'd be okay. Of course, this isn't enough to rule out the potential of leaving his stressful life behind, but as the days passed since he disappeared, his case attracted national attention. Sightings of him were called in from all over, even as far away as Sweden, but each of them either went unconfirmed or was determined to be someone else. So next, Brian's state of mind being what it was at the time, it was possible he'd decide to end things instead of starting a new life. However, at first, nothing he said.
Wait, why is my stream lagging? Hold up. Is my internet going out or is someone downloading something? 1 second. Give me a second. Back to the video. Michael, I'm sorry. Michael, I'm sorry you had to cut out like 10 minutes of bullshit. Back to the video.
Said or did led anyone around it to believe Brian was suffering from anything outside the normal and expected course of grief over losing a loved one. Still, it was possible that Brian somehow slipped on the slope, maybe being blocked on camera by another patron leaving the bar and went somewhere to do this. Police conducted a thorough search of the building as well as the sewer system and local waterways, but nothing came up. This seemed to rule out the possibility that Brian had done something drastic, but interviews with Alexis turned up a couple of interesting occurrences in the weeks between his mother's death and his disappearance. Soon after his
No,
mother's
don't
funeral,
cut it
Brian
out.
encouraged strong
Leave it in.
to run away with him somewhere, and just days before he vanished, he suggested to Alexis that she'd leave him and find someone else because he was having such a hard time with his mother's death. She obviously agreed to neither suggestion, but if nothing else, it gave police insight into his emotional state at the time. So finally, foul play was looked at, but it seemed to be
I mean, depressed, not mentally well, mixed with alcohol, that's a recipe for disaster.
like missed a ball. As the investigation got going, police interviewed everyone who crossed Brian's path that day. Since Clint was with him from 9 o'clock until around 1:30 a.m., he was a high-value witness who was initially cooperative with police and answered any questions they had for him. When he was asked to take a polygraph test, however, he suddenly hired a lawyer who advised him not to talk to police. Even more than 18 years later, it's always been curious to Derek that Clint was supposedly one of
Father Pig, what are we watching? A video.
Brian's best friend, yet he may have been withholding information. At the same time, when looking at the timeline that's backed up by security footage, it leaves very little opportunity for Clint to do much of anything, let alone murder Brian and somehow remove his body from the building. Only 5 minutes passed between Brian re-entering the saloon and Clint and Meredith waiting outside for him. Because Clint stopped providing information, however, there's an entire period between 9 p.m. on March 31st and the first few minutes of April 1st when Clint
And if they're on
Brian were alone together,
antidepressants
and that's
mixed
a
with
big question.
alcohol, it's even worse. Yeah.
It's possible that in the course of their bar hopping before running into Meredith, Brian told Clint about the plan to run away and made him promise never to say anything to anyone about it. Whatever the case, following his disappearance, Derek and Alexis spent a year calling Brian's phone multiple times every day, hoping it would be picked up by someone on the other end, but the calls always went to voicemail. That was until 6 months after Brian vanished.
Hold up. They kept calling the phone, so that means that the phone was still alive and charged and usable, right?
During one attempt to reach him, the phone actually rang before going to voicemail, and it pinged
Oh, okay, never mind. It rang.
a
before
cell
going to
tower
voicemail.
near Hilliard, a northwest suburb of Columbus. This was investigated, but nothing ever came from it, unfortunately.
We sent you to America so you could be our mom.
There's treachery within our ranks.
Maybe there is no spy.
Only the spy says there's no spy.
Recently, and for no reason at all, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation.
The fact that I have one is so funny.
What
size are your pants? Fuck, I don't know.
To your contracts, they said
Fucking small? I don't know. Wow, Corey's like 100%. No, I'm broke.
So to recap,
I used to have money to spend, but I'm broke now.
lowering prices on every plan to just $15.
Thank you for the heart pupper ride. Thank you for the six, for the 6 heart pups. You're always on my For You page. That's because we're meant to be, Leah. We're besties.
Tragedy wasn't over. No one searched for Brian.
My boyfriend said he's coming home. He said he's like an hour and a half away. He's doing something for his friend's birthday. And he said he's coming home. Coming to my house. He's coming over and he has a surprise for me and I'm scared. Remember when I sound like, yes, Chris? Oh my god.
Father and brother over the course of a little more than 2 years. That night.
The Cold War is over.
Wow.
Hooray.
That's wild.
It didn't take long to look at Tom.
In the future,
Dude, I was gonna make a video on this guy. I know this story. I guess so. Because I researched it. I literally was planning on making a video on this guy.
So that he'd lived some life in his 82 years on Earth. He wasn't particularly imposing at 5'10", 160 pounds, but the signs were there nonetheless. In his 20s, Tom was a member of the prestigious and storied 82nd Airborne Division in the United States Army, serving as a paratrooper. During his service, Tom lost an eye and half his hearing in an explosion that also managed to mangle one of his hands so badly that it needed 159 stitches. This should have killed him, and the accident would have been life's defining moment for many, but not for Tom. His life was all about survival, and this was just another event he managed to live through. Later, he became an avid hunter and outdoorsman and loved it.
You should
so
still
much
make
that
the
he
vid,
taught hunting and
potentially.
survival classes in and around
Because I doubt this video really goes into too much
his
detail
hometown
about
in
it.
Troy,
But
New York, about 160 miles north of New York City. Not even his age was enough to keep Tom out of the woods, especially when it came to an annual hunting trip he took with his friends and family. In 2015,
here,
though,
and
Tom
you know
was
what? After this, I'll give you my theories. Because I did research.
just getting over a bad case of shingles with that year's trip quickly approaching. He was still dealing with some of the lingering effects, and he had to consider the possibility of staying home that year. When the time came, however, Tom decided that he was well enough to go. After all, he didn't know how many more he'd have a chance to attend at his age. As tough as he was, the age was finally catching up to him. His later years had brought about some heart problems, and he didn't get around as well as he used to, so hunting for him had to be a bit modified. Either way, on November 15th, Tom joined 6 other friends and family members for a hunt on Lily Pond near Bryant Lake, about an hour's drive north of his home in Troy. And Tom was excited for the trip. Even though he had been hunting with some members of the group for 55 years, none of them had ever been in that era, which was surprising considering how popular it was for fishing and hunting. At around 10 a.m., Tom and several of the older members in the group were put in position by the younger men with them. A couple of them were placed on watch just off a logging route, and Tom was assisted to an old tree stump to sit. Because he couldn't go after deer himself, the others would go to the other side of the lake and drive them right to him so he could take a shot. When Tom was settled, the younger men walked off to start spooking deer toward his location, but they returned to the tree stump without finding any.
Alright, road rage!
This video was made
Hey,
with
whoop!
which made his attempts at portraying anger unconvincing.
Remember, chat, your mental illness, it's not a problem. It makes you more powerful, right? Think about it. What, you want a normal brain? What? You want to live life normally and not have to worry about stuff? That's not fun. That's not cool. It's better to have a mental illness. That's more epic and cool and unique. Yes, mental illness is a superpower. Confirmed, chat. Don't be normal, chat. Be mysterious and autistic.
Story that is just really upsetting to me. Now, obviously, a lot of the stories that I cover are all, quite distressing. But today's story, which is about
Every news story is the craziest story we've ever done. You better deliver, Ballin. You better deliver. You better deliver your balls. Deliver them to me. Cut off your balls and send them to me in the mail. Now.
On
On the afternoon of August 2nd, 1998, a 48-year-old, 6-foot, 6-inch tall hiker named Mike Turner.
Yo! Audie, thank you so much for the 3 months. ADHD Havers Unite. Yeah. Chat, he's 6 foot and he's 6 inches. This guy is, damn, that's crazy. 6 foot and 6 inches? That's a big one. That's above average, chat. 6 inches is big, all right? I don't care what anyone says. 6 inches is big. Tall, I would say tall. 6 foot. 6 foot, it's tall.
Turner stopped for a moment and took his bottle out of his backpack and took a sip. Mike was standing in a cluster of trees on the side of this mountain about 11,000 feet up inside of an area in Wyoming called the Fitzpatrick Wilderness. The Fitzpatrick Wilderness is easily one of the most visually striking places in the entire world. It's like
I've seen better.
The extremes of nature kind of collided together in this one place. You have these massive, 13,000 foot tall snow-covered mountain peaks, you have glaciers, and then right below them, right at the base.
Okay, Ballin, have you seen corn in Illinois? Like, you know what I'm saying, chat? Like, come to Illinois sometime, buddy. and then we'll see. And then we'll see who has the better scenery.
Of these huge mountains are all these lush green fields full of tall grass and flowers and animals running around and little streams and lakes. I mean, it's absolutely picturesque. In fact, some of the pictures of this area, they look fake. They're so ridiculous. But the real reason the Fitzpatrick Wilderness was known as this unbelievably beautiful place was because really it went kind of untouched by people because it was so hard to get to. I mean, basically the only people who stepped foot in this very surreal landscape were really experienced outdoors people like Mike Turner.
But you did a
Because
good
it took a
job,
lot
it
of
really.
know-how just to get to this area and to survive.
I cut the collar, so
Very, very
it's cute now.
But Mike Turner was not
Hey, nice.
just going to the Fitzpatrick Wilderness. He really wanted to experience the true nature of this area. And so what he was doing while he was out there was hiking off trail. And so he's in this totally remote place.
Humans need to stop touching shit, I agree. You know, why don't we just have like a genocide? Wouldn't that be cool? Like all of us die and just like refresh. Like, why don't we hit the refresh button? Maybe that'd help.
Hiking around in an area that was not even marked on a map. Now, to anybody who has not done any compass and map navigating out in the wild, this might seem totally reckless. And to a degree, it sort of is. But it's something that people totally have a knack for.
You know what? Actually, I have a good. 50% of the population gone. You know, that'd be cool. It'd be like a snap. Like, no problem. Just get rid of 50% of people, and then everything will just even out. The economy will fix itself. Like we'll have more food for everyone. We won't have any homeless people anymore because there'll be so many extra homes, right? Because everyone would be dead. That'd be awesome. Why don't we try? Why hasn't anyone thought of that? You know, why hasn't anyone thought of that yet?
I can speak from my own experience. When I was in the military, we did a lot of compass and map navigating, like in the backcountry in Alaska and also in California. And I was terrible at it, but I can tell you, some of my classmates definitely had sort of like an innate skill to understand where they were in relationship to terrain features. And then if you combine that with proper training and experience, I mean, these guys got really good at just being able to navigate with a map and compass. And so Mike was one of those people that really was an excellent navigator. And so walking off trail like this in such a remote place was sort of routine for him. Now, Mike was not some full-time adventurer. This was something he did that was sort of a passion for him. His job was he was a reverend at a Christian church in Idaho, and he had been for 10 years. And Mike loved it.
We have more food, assuming that you make it. But why would you care if, like, you don't make it? You'd be dead, right? Like, you wouldn't even care because, like you're dead. Like, what are you gonna do? Cry about it? You can't. You're dead, right? You can't even feel bad about it. You can't even get FOMO because you're dead.
He loved being a reverend. He loved his congregation, and his wife Diane and his 3 kids. He had 2 daughters and a son. They were all super involved in the church. I mean, it was a great thing. But at the same time, being a reverend was a lot of work, a lot of responsibility, and a lot of stress. In a way that Mike had found to kind of cope with that growing stress of being a reverend was to go out hiking. He actually found, sort of ironically, that when he was out in nature hiking, he felt closer to God than when he was inside of his church preaching. And it was because he sort of looked at the world as this
grand gift from God. And imagine being in the Fitzpatrick wilderness looking...
Bro, that ain't God. It's a bunch of rocks. It's a bunch of rocks. We're just, small, right?
This unbelievable thing. I mean, it looks like, God made this. I mean, who else could? This is so strikingly beautiful. And so with
Rocks made that.
that as context, on this particular day that Mike had stopped to sip water 11,000 feet up on this mountainside, this was actually the fourth day
Wind,
of a
water,
9-day pre-planned solo
fire,
hike
earth,
through this wilderness
air.
that Mike had been planning out for over a
Long ago, the fire net. Okay.
year. Now, even though Mike was a very skilled hiker and backpacker and survivalist, he knew doing any sort of really long solo hike
Captain
came with
Planet.
a whole bunch of risks that only really come if you're solo hiking. The biggest risk being that if you get into trouble when you're out on a solo hike, well, you're all alone.
You know what I've always wondered? Okay, I'm not trying to get into religious talk. Instead of hear me out. What if we didn't have Christianity or religion in general, and instead the religion would be the planet? You know what I'm saying? What if there was a religion out there that just was about respecting Mother Nature? Because that's what we should respect, not some obligatory being, the godly being that we've never seen or heard of. Maybe let's respect what we got in front of us. You know what I'm saying? Wait, I think there is one for that, chat. What is it called? Oh, paganism? Wait, paganism, the religion that Christianity has thrown into the ground and made out to be worshipping devils, when paganism is actually just worshipping Mother Nature? What? If only.
Or have a really good plan for what you're going to do if you get into trouble. And so Mike had come up with a great plan.
Wicca is a subcategory of paganism? Yeah, my wife's a witch, so yeah.
He had spent that whole year mapping out this off-trail path he was going to take.
I know all of it, Chad.
It was a 60-mile trip through the Fitzpatrick wilderness, and he drew out basically exactly where he expected to go on a map, and he gave that map with all the different coordinates and exactly where
that would be silly, Pig. A man must have made the plan.
On each day, his wife, who also was a very enthusiastic hiker, and he told her on the 9th day,
shut up, Prospect,
this spot at the end of the 60 miles at noon on this 9th day, right here, and I will meet you there, and you can take me home.
Thank you,
However,
Crockett.
that plan had changed on that 4th day, as Mike was sipping his water on the mountainside, and only Mike knew it, because he had no way to communicate back to his friends and family. Cell phones were very primitive at the time, so he couldn't just call somebody. I mean, basically, if he deviated his plan, he was the only one who would know. Now, the reason why Mike, on the 4th day of this 9-day trip, decided to alter his course made a lot of sense. So, even though Mike was technically solo hiking, he was not actually alone. With him was the family dog named Andy, a very good-natured black dog who loved going hiking. And over the course of the previous day and then into this 4th day, he and Andy had been up at elevation at about 13,000 feet, walking on some icy parts of the mountain. Andy's paws were getting really raw from kind of walking.
Oh no, doggo!
And that day, on the 4th day, Mike had noticed Andy was whimpering and struggling to keep up when normally Andy was super energetic and running all around. And he knew that, my course that I'm supposed to be going on for the next few days is going to be going all through these mountains with all this ice. And I don't think Andy can keep up.
Alright, I'm kind of I'm going to say, why take the dog? You're going on a perilous journey that is dangerous and deadly, and bro, I don't know. Why take the dog?
He's not going to be able to do
I know he wanted company, but I don't know.
And so he decided to side skirt the mountains to avoid the ice, and even though this path was definitely going to take him a little bit longer, it would still bring him to the same destination, to that same pickup spot where his wife and his family would be waiting for him. Now, Mike understood that by deviating his route, not only would his family not know, they would have no idea
I know he gives shoes to the dogs.
but also this secondary route he'd be taking to save
that would make sense. That makes too much sense.
It's going to take a little bit longer than the intended course would take, and so he knew he was not going to be there at the time he said he would. So he was not going to be there at noon on the next day. It was going to be maybe the 10th day or beyond. But Mike had planned for this contingency. He had brought extra supplies specifically if he had to extend his journey, and so he felt confident that even though this was a big risk, to take this path that nobody knows he's on, he felt he could do it, no problems. And so after Mike finished taking a sip of his water, he pulled a bowl from his pack that was for Andy, and he poured some water in it, placed it on the ground, and Andy kind of made his way over and began lapping lapping at the water, and as he did, Mike looked down and
Chad, this isn't a real photo of a dog.
saw Andy's tail wagging happily, and Mike felt confident, seeing how much better his dog was already doing, that this was definitely the right decision. Taking the secondary route was definitely the way to go. But as Mike waited for his dog to finish drinking, Andy suddenly stopped and then lifted his head up with his ears perked up like he had sensed something. And then before Mike could stop him, Andy just took off running into the trees and disappeared.
Bigfoot?
Now,
Bigfoot?
Andy was a playful dog that periodically kind of ran around on hikes like this. But remember, Mike is out in the backcountry and he's deviated his path. He needs to be really sure of where he is. He can't afford to make mistakes here. And if Andy just goes rogue and he has to go chase after him,
the dog was a lie? Wait, was the dog never real?
Or maybe come in contact with some big predator that maybe Andy has sensed, were pretty high. And so Mike grabbed the bowl and took off running into the trees after Andy. And after going into those trees, he emerged on the other side, Mike did, and suddenly he was hit with this incredible view, kind of looking down towards this lake, and there was this huge clearing on this side of the mountain that was filled with these huge boulders, like boulders the size of small cars, and they were everywhere. Basically, the mountain, as it eroded, chunks of rock were rolling down into this clearing that was sort of at a slant down towards this lake, and it just filled the entire clearing.
Dude, I swear to God,
to the point
if
where
this whole story just turns out to dog dies, I'm gonna be very sad.
you really couldn't actually walk on solid ground. The only way to get from where Mike was and where Andy was, because at this point he could see his dog was making his way towards the lake. Clearly, that's what
2 years from now, tell me it was way beyond that. I could
going to get a drink or something. So Mike knew to get to his dog, he basically had to climb onto the boulders and jump from rock to rock.
Oh, no.
And so Mike tried calling for Andy one more time to stop and come back. And Andy was on his own program, going towards the lake. And so, resigned to the situation, Mike climbed on top of the first boulder, began jumping over the boulder.
Her father punching that right now, probably.
Is he gonna get hit by another boulder coming down?
I love these lashes, guys. Like, I'm not...
1 week later, in the afternoon of
1
August
week?
9th,
Hold up.
Mike's wife, Diane, along with her 3 kids and some family friends, stood at the start of a trail called the Big Sandy Trail, which was the designated meeting spot where Mike said he would meet his family at the end of this 9-day journey. And as Diane stood there at this meeting place, she kept anxiously checking her watch. Mike was late, and not just a few minutes late. He was a full 24 hours late. Mike was supposed to be there on the 8th at noon, and now it's the 9th, and he's still not here. But remember, Mike is a guy that did stuff like this fairly regularly. He was very competent out in the wild, and everybody knew when he went off on this journey that, of course, there was some variability to when he would actually arrive at the meeting place. Despite Mike saying, I'll be there on the 8th at noon, Diane and her friends and family all sort of felt like, well, I hope he's there at noon, but realistically, he might be several hours or maybe even a day late, and that's okay. So the day before, when he didn't show up at noon, people were anxious, but they were okay. Now, 24 hours later, still Mike has not shown up. There's no trace of him. Diane and her kids and the family friends, they were starting to worry.
Mike's got this, guys. This one's a happy ending. I can feel it. That's bait. That's bait. The most gut-wrenching hiking story I have ever told. Yeah, surely this ends happily, guys. Surely. Surely nothing bad happened.
Told Diane that if for some reason he does not show up on the 9th, so 24 hours after he said he would be there, and it's past 4 o'clock on the 9th, this is the trigger point, that Diane should call the authorities and assume something is wrong and send out a search party. So Diane is checking her watch on the 9th. Soon enough, it's 4 p.m. Mike's not here. 4:05, 4:10, 4:15, still no Mike. And even though she knew her husband said, now it's time, go get the authorities, she just couldn't bring herself to do it. She felt like it's such a huge to-do. If you get a search party organized out here, I mean, that's a massive effort, super expensive. And she felt like the second she told authorities that, like, Mike would come walking out of the wilderness with a big story to tell and a big apology for being late. And so she convinced herself that, you know what, give him one more day, and I'm sure he's bound to show up.
Oh, no, dude. Is this going to be a situation where if she actually called, they probably would have found him alive? Oh, no. Oh, no, dude.
But the next day, on the 10th, still there was no sign of Mike. That morning, Diane did go to the authorities. She reported Mike missing. And just as she expected, a massive search was launched for Mike. But you need to keep in mind here then again, Diane and the searchers and everybody besides Mike has no idea that he has altered the path he was on. And they're going to be searching this massive expanse of wilderness that even with the best of conditions, knowing exactly where someone is on their route, I mean, it's so hard to find people out here. I mean, it's totally rugged. Things are obscured from view, from the air, from the land. There are areas you can't even get to. There's predators out there. I mean, this is a dangerous thing to be doing. And again, they don't know he's not even on that path anymore. He's deviated. And so, despite helicopters in the air, horseback teams out in force, hundreds of volunteers combing the area looking for Mike, nobody found a trace of him. And after 2 weeks went by with this huge search producing nothing, they finally had to call it off. And so, of course, Mike's family is just unbelievably devastated. They have no idea what's happened to Mike. Sponsor? Stories to anybody who wants to join. And these will be a combination of old school classic, Mr. Ballin.
Dude, okay, I like Ball, right? Anyone else find this weird? I remember hearing about this, that he's doing live shows and all he's doing is he's just saying scary stories live. Anyone else find that weird? Like, don't get me wrong, bro's probably making bank and selling out. But like, you're gonna go pay money to go to a theater for him to read stories? It probably hits different live. Will it though? Will it? Dude, he has a graphic novel? Like, dude, this guy is grinding like hell. Like, I need his work ethic, man. He's got a fucking graphic novel. He has like 50 different podcasts. He's guest on a billion podcasts. He has his main channel, and now he's doing live shows? Like, Jesus Christ, bro. He's on that grind. That's crazy, man. I mean, I'm sure he has a huge team of people, but like, shit, bro. That's a lot.
5 days later, 5 days after the end of the official search, we're now at August 28th at this point. A couple of backpackers were hiking through an area in the Fitzpatrick Wilderness that was actually about 17 miles away from the last known sighting of Mike Turner. And that was not when he went through the trees and saw the boulders. This was around the time Mike literally began the...
Well, being an SCP, he doesn't need to sleep? Oh, that's true. I did forget about that.
9-day epic journey. Somebody had seen him in one area, and so where these two backpackers are is about 17 miles away from there. And so these two backpackers, they were aware that Mike Turner was missing because there were flyers up all over the place around the outside of the Fitzpatrick Wilderness at the beginning of all the trailheads and in town and all over the place. So they were aware of this, aware that Mike was missing and his dog was missing. And as they're just sitting there taking a break, this totally emaciated, ragged-looking black lab came out of the tree line, whimpering and looking like it was on its last legs. It was Andy. Right away, these backpackers knew that's the missing dog.
He lives!
So they lured the dog to them with granola bars, and Andy came up, and he ate, they gave him
Oh,
water.
shit!
And just so you know, Andy would survive and make a full recovery. And so after these backpackers have Andy in their possession, they immediately contacted authorities, who then got in touch with Mike's family and said, hey, we found Andy. And so you can imagine the absolute roller coaster of emotion Mike Turner's family is going through. Now that they hear Andy's okay, Andy's come out of the forest, they're thinking, oh my goodness.
It really did end well? I mean, let's be real. The dude's probably
Maybe
dead.
Mike is okay too. Maybe Andy can lead us back to where Mike is. Mike is this totally skilled survivalist. He's got to be alive out there. And so after discovering Andy, a second search was launched using Andy as the guide dog. They basically went to that spot where the backpackers found him, and basically Andy's family and some other volunteers allowed Andy to lead them back into the wilderness, hoping it would lead them to Mike. And so as this new search began with Andy leading the way, a separate backpacker, who we will call Brian, just for the sake of the story, that's not his name, but we're going to call him Brian, he was hiking through a section of the Fitzpatrick Wilderness not near where Andy was.
Are you Brian Ballin?
And Brian,
Are you
he was
Brian?
not involved in looking for Mike Turner, but he was aware that Mike was missing, because again, he had seen all the missing person flyers, he had seen the news, and when he began his own hike into the wilderness, he had seen at the start of his own trailhead a big flyer with a picture of Mike Turner and his dog saying he was missing. So Brian's aware of Mike Turner's absence, but he's just going on his own hike into the wilderness.
And after a few days of solo hiking his way into this totally rugged expanse, he eventually reaches this kind of dense cluster of trees about 11,000 feet up on the side of a mountain. And he walks through those trees, and when he emerges on the other side, out in front of him, sloping down to a lake, is this unbelievable boulder field that practically takes his breath away. But that was not the thing that really got his attention. Instead, as he's taking in boulders, unbelievable,
He got stuck in a boulder, didn't he?
There you
sitting on a rock fairly far across this boulder field with his back to Brian, just staring at the lake. Now, remember, this is like the middle of nowhere, and Brian certainly was not expecting to come across any other person on this journey. And so naturally he thought, okay, I need to go up and make sure this guy is okay, or if nothing else, talk to him. I mean, this is a very rare thing to come in contact with other people out here. And so Brian began walking towards this guy to see what was going on. Well, that man was the missing hiker, Mike Turner. My goodness, Mike Turner had a story to tell.
Wait, he's alive?
Mike's story.
Wait.
Go back 29 days.
Wait, what? What? He's alive?
Taken off running from Mike.
That's a nice
boulder. Mike had emerged through those trees, seen the boulders, seen his dog, and he began climbing onto that first rock to begin making his way towards his dog. So Mike gets up on that rock and he begins hopping from boulder to boulder to boulder. And at first it's going fine. He gets about halfway across the boulder field. He's yelling to Andy to stay put. He's kind of making his way. It's all good. And then he reaches this one particularly large boulder that when he jumped onto it, it was kind of unstable. He had to wobble under his feet. And so instinctively, Mike tried to leap off of the wobbly boulder onto another boulder that was right nearby. But when he jumped, he sort of undershot this second boulder, and so did not land on it and stay put on it. Instead, he kind of hit the face of the second boulder and slipped down to the ground. Didn't hurt Mike. He's just now on.
Wait, amnesia? Did bro forget everything?
The ground in this small space between boulders. However, unfortunately, the wobbly boulder right behind Mike, well, it didn't just continue to wobble. It wobbled to the point where it rolled forward and literally came to a rest against the second boulder that Mike had just jumped onto and failed to land on top of.
Oh.
Basically, wobbly boulder, impacted second boulder, sandwiching Mike between them.
Oh.
Critically, it did not harm Mike. This is going to take some explaining, but it'll make sense after I go through it.
Huh?
Wobbly boulder had what looked like almost a U-shaped cutout on the face of the wobbly boulder. Like imagine a perfectly round boulder, but there's like a divot kind of sitting on the front of it. And it just so happened that on the second boulder,
between a rock and a hard
wobbly
place.
boulder, it also had a sort of divot on the face of it, kind of looking like a U-shape. And when these two boulders collided, these 800-pound boulders, Mike happened to be standing exactly in the position where those two cutouts wrapped around him like shackles. They basically pinned his ankles together, where he could not pull his legs up and out of this totally tight space that was just big enough to hold his legs in place. It was like he was anchored to the ground. But again, Mike is unharmed. His legs aren't broken, he's not battered, nothing. He just cannot move. Now, Mike instantly would have known this is a really big issue, because he can't move these 800-pound boulders. They are 800 pounds.
All right, come on, bro. Like, you need to start lifting, man. Come on, it's just 800 pounds.
And he's by himself, minus his dog, who can't really help him with boulders. And so Mike immediately just jumps into, oh my goodness, I have to find a way to somehow
eat rocks. I mean, he could eat the rocks.
Just move these boulders even just a millimeter, a centimeter would be enough to free his feet. And so he pulled off his bag, and one by one he pulled off every piece of equipment he had, including his camera tripod and his stove and whatever he had, and he did everything he could to try to pry these stupid boulders off of him, but they would not budge. And so after 2 hours of trying in vain to free himself, it dawned on Michael that he was not going to be able to free himself. The only way he was getting out of here is if somebody found him and rescued him. And so Mike, doing his best to stay calm, he pulled out his journal he had brought along for this trip in order to detail, his closeness with God and, what he was learning throughout this journey, and he began documenting.
Thank you, Umbra Obsidian, for 5 months.
Why he was in this boulder field, what he was doing when he got stuck, how he wound up in these sort of granite shackles, so to speak. He also very clearly in his writing was
very much putting his faith in God to get him out of here. He wrote in his journal on this first day, 2 hours into this predicament,
It ain't God that saved you, it's Andy, alright?
really not.
It's Andy that saved your ass.
in your hands, Lord. I don't know what I may face.
I guess technically not Andy, I guess it was that random dude.
The idea being, I don't know what's going to happen to me, but my faith is in you. I know
dog
you
is
will
God.
help me through this. So
Ryan,
after
yeah,
writing
Ryan,
this
that's who it is.
entry, Mike turned his attention to survival. Like, not trying to push the boulders off, but trying to survive amidst the boulders as long as possible. And so he pulled out his blue sleeping bag and kind of wrapped it around himself to insulate himself. He got out his stove, and there was some snow in reach. And he began putting snow in his stove and melting it to create water. And he also pulled his tent flap over the top of him. I mean, he was basically setting up camp inside of these boulders. And that first night must have been absolutely horrifying. I mean, the temperatures dropped down to near freezing, even though during the day it was over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. But that night, he's in this horrible position, just trapped with his own thoughts, just hoping and praying that, God was going to get him out of here. The next day, when Mike woke up, he wrote in his journal some more, and he began detailing his biggest fears. One of them was potentially having to have his legs amputated if he got out of here. The damage of losing circulation to his legs was scary. He wrote that he had food for at least a week, but he only had 2 quarts of water, and there wasn't all that much snow around him left to melt, and he was running out of fuel, and so he was really worried about not having enough water, even though, very ironically, he was like 25, 30 feet away from a lake, which he could have drank water from. But
What's
again,
that one movie
he's
where that
trapped in
guy
the
has to cut his arm off?
And so on.
That wasn't a movie, that was a real situation, right? Where the hiker got, like, his arm stuck in something, and in order for him to survive, he had to, like, cut off his arm. That was based on, like, a real situation.
The second day, Mike actually attempted to throw his water bottle, which he connected some rope to try to get it into the lake to capture some water and pull it back to him. But when he threw it, it was just short of the water. He could not get it into the water, so he couldn't scoop any water into his bottle. And then when he tried to retrieve the bottle, as the bottle was being dragged towards him, it got wedged in some rocks.
Oh,
and he
no.
can't move, so he can't possibly fling it
That
out of these rocks. And so he couldn't even get his water bottle back.
Holy shit.
So by the end of that second day, Mike's tone in his journal began to change. It wasn't totally negative yet, but he began talking about how, man, I wonder what's going to happen when I run out of water. I wonder what my urine will taste like if I mix it with Crystal Light. So it was kind of like he was joking about the fact that he was going to try to make his pee
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
taste better. But it also showed he was beginning to realize just how serious the situation was. Nobody knows where he is. He's completely off the beaten path. That sounds pretty good. He has no idea if anybody even knows he's in trouble, and he's about to be out of water. The next day, so the third day of being trapped inside of these boulders, Mike would once again begin writing in his journal. And his tone seemed a bit more optimistic, despite the fact that he has not solved, this water crisis he's about to face. He's down to his literal last quart of water. But in his journal, he talked about how this whole trip he went on, this 9-day trip he had planned out, the whole point was to become closer to God. And he felt like, you know what, I've really done that in the past couple of days. What I wanted to achieve, having a really spiritual...
One thing I'll give to religion is it definitely gives people a bunch of hope. I'll give him that. Because let's be real, if bro didn't believe in God, he'd probably be like, alright, this sucks, I'm just gonna die, fuck it. It's false hope. A lot of times it's dumb and stupid, but I'll give him that,
Ritual event here, it's happened like times 100 being trapped here. I mean, this is the closest I've ever felt to God. But you could just tell there was just an underlying sense that I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna learn from this experience. I'm not gonna take stupid risks anymore. I'm gonna be a better father, be a better husband, be a better reverend. I'm gonna make something of myself. I'm gonna improve as a result of this suffering I'm going through right now. However, over the next few days that Mike continued to be trapped in these rocks with no help coming, his optimism clearly waned. He began to write that he was angry with God. He wondered, is this a punishment for something I've done? And he also
tell him!
Maybe I failed God.
Tell him how it is!
That's why I'm here. But it was just clear that Mike, who was
Don't blame
a
him!
spiritual person,
Don't blame yourself, it's not your fault. Get angry with him.
absolutely believed in a higher power. How could he be in this terrible position and not be getting any sort of help from God? How could that be? But unfortunately for Mike, his situation only got worse. On about day 5 or 6, as Mike was laying wretchedly inside of this horrible camp he had built, he noticed that he had completely lost feeling in his left leg. Like completely. It was a dead leg at this point. And even though he knew by this point how bad of a situation he was in, this sparked a new, very real fear inside Mike that he detailed in his journal. He knew his body was actually beginning to break down, and still, there was no help, no divine help coming in despite all his prayers. There's no one coming to rescue him. He's all alone. In fact, Mike would write in his journal,
God was busy trapping other people in rocks.
something that practically brought me to tears when I read it first, and it just said, so lonely, more than I imagined. I just can't picture what it would be like to be trapped out there. You're not hurt, but you can't go anywhere, and you're all alone, just slowly withering away. And your family, they're somewhere out there, they have no idea, nobody knows. It's just unbelievable.
What about the dog, Bolo? So the dog was limping? What was the reason? The dog's paws were getting frozen.
Unbelievably devastating. The mental torture this man went through is just out of this world. But it just keeps getting worse. Day 6, day 7, Mike at some point actually dropped his journal, and because he can't actually reach it anymore, he just picked up whatever objects he had and continued writing on them, like his pocket Bible, and then also there was an instruction manual for his stove, he would write in the margins, and his writing just continued to get more and more pessimistic and sad. He began writing about how intensely he regretted his decision to take the long route. He was totally setting him up for this situation. Nobody would have known where he is. And so he's hating on himself. He's still mad at God. Why aren't you here? Aren't you seeing how badly I'm suffering? I mean, this is a
Big lag spikes? Hold up. Okay, we're good.
anguish and just pure loneliness. I mean, this is horrible. Then, on the 7th and 8th day or 9th day that he was stuck in these boulders, once again, Mike's writing on his random things that he wrote on took another turn. Not only was his writing becoming more and more illegible, because he's literally dying here. I mean, his body's breaking down. He's exposed to the sun all day, and then at night it's freezing cold. He's not having any water. He's drinking his urine. He's got no food left. He can barely write. His writing begins to talk about his family and his children. You know, at this point, Mike must have known the end is near. And so all he had was just the thoughts of his family. He began wondering, what his kid's life were going to be like in the future. Because obviously the implication here is he knows he won't be there to see it. He'll be dead. And then in some of the last entries he would make, it was obvious that really Mike had turned back to God. Now he was back to approaching God with open arms. He was no longer upset or questioning God's plan. He was just ready. He actually wrote in his journal, "Fill me with peace, Lord. May my conditions not deny my love for you." And then he wrote, "I'm ready to die, though I'm missing my family." And then in his final entry, which must have been on the 10th day of his predicament, Mike's writing was basically completely illegible at this point.
You know what? Mike just survived, dang it? I think he does, doesn't he?
Because he's right on death's door. And even though you can't really tell what he wrote, at the end of his final entry, it says, "Love and it's like he was saying his final goodbye to his family. Then Mike took off
It's
his
important to pray like hell on your deathbed? Why? What happens?
wedding band and he placed it.
You got to get in your God points before you die. You got to, like, whenever you're about to die, chat, hurry up and get in your God points, all right? Cash in your God points, Just totally pray. For the last few weeks of your life, just keep praying, all right? Maybe you'll get in.
Next to him. Because he knew once he died and deep
Just bribe the door guy.
ring would fall off the phone and be lost across the globe. And he clearly wanted his family to have that wedding ring. So he placed it on the rock, and then he prepared to die. When Brian the hiker walked up to the sitting man he saw on his boulder, he realized almost immediately that was Mike Turner, because he had seen the missing person flyers before he came into the wilderness. And so knowing this is the guy they're looking for, and knowing he couldn't move him, he covered him up, and he took Mike Turner's wallet, which contained his ID, and as fast as he could,
Wait, so he is dead?
Brian the hiker made his way back to the beginning of the trailhead and contacted authorities. I will say it took Brian almost 3 days to contact authorities, and he was going as fast as he could, retracing his steps. So that really gives you a sense of really just how remote of an area Mike was in when he passed away. And then also,
he's
it
dead.
turned out that Andy the dog was leading that secondary search. He wouldn't find Mike before Brian would. But once they discovered where Mike had died, and they checked the direction Andy was taking his family, it was obvious that Andy was heading in that direction. He was a faithful dog going back to save his owner. He just wasn't going to get there in time. And to close the story out, making it even more tragic, on the day that Mike left his wife Diane and his 3 beautiful children to begin begin this 9-day trek. After he left, Diane received a bouquet of flowers in the mail that Mike had sent that he knew would arrive after he had left. Attached to this bouquet was a note, and the note was written to Diane. It just said, "Thank you for letting me live this adventure. Know that wherever I am and whatever I'm doing, I'm thinking of you."
Oh, that's sad, dude. That was depressing as hell. Jesus Christ, that was so depressing.
Now it's time to walk away. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Did you like
Only to hear.
laugh or cry or make?
Graduated, actually. I would okay. What would be my tips? I just graduated, actually. I would say, like, just do as much as you can. Like, go to the events. Like, there'll be a lot of events at, like, through the Curb College. There's all these events that they'll hold in different areas for WellCore, which also do your WellCore. WellCore, I don't know if you know what that is, but hyped, really nervous, very far from home. Yeah, okay, so I'm from Seattle, so it's far from home for me too. And it's like nerve-wracking, but people are so nice. And it's really just like everyone's so nice.
Take me to church!
Twist of events. Can this West Coast...
Did someone just hit the...
Just go to the events, talk to people, go get
Ramp
coffee with
sound
people,
effect?
start early, like take so much advantage of
You can't do that! You can't do the
opportunities
Gordon
that Belmont
sound
gives.
effect! That's not fair!
Because they have so many opportunities, and I started when I was in COVID, so I didn't even realize half of the opportunities I was missing out on music, because none of them were available. So I would just like look at internships.
Why
like,
is every aisle empty? Why
and
is
also,
everything empty?
remember that you're gonna change a lot probably while you're there. Like, playing guitar. I play guitar, so I'm gonna try out for ensembles, hopefully. Yes, and there's so many songwriters too who want to play shows who need guitarists. So no, really just like making friends, talking to people.
Call me
like,
crazy. I think there's
heck,
something
like,
in his
I will probably need a guitarist. Like, here. I'll follow you.
Put that there and then leave it when we come out here, okay?
If you like want to get coffee when you're in town or something, too, we can totally do that. Because I feel like I wish when I came to Belmont, I had like someone older to talk to.
Yeah? Okay. You want to take it out?
But it was COVID, and I kind of did, but like not really. I like someone who had gone through it before.
Hands in your pocket. Take them out. You're fine. Do you have any guns, knives, weapons, anything you know about? You don't even be reporting
Yeah,
on
let's
that?
do it. Because
Making sure.
there was someone who there was a girl who was like a few years older than me who I got coffee with, and she gave me such good advice, and now I like have all that advice, and I'll just give it to you. But yeah, Belmont is amazing, and it's so worth it. It's so worth it. I graduated, and I live in with my three best friends that I met in the first week of school 4 years ago, and we're all still besties, and they're all songwriters. Then I also have a bunch of other best friends who I'm still really good friends with, and like, hello, what's up, Jose? Okay.
What is this cartoon sound? It sounds like fucking Current. Whenever he's trying to explain to Eustace what's going on.
I'm so sorry. And what I said when you're not gonna fight, and I told you to put your hands on your back? I'm sorry. And then you wanted to tense up on me? My brain.
My brain misfired. Dude, that's a good one. That's a good one. Anytime you fuck up, chat, your brain just misfired. That's all that happened.
We're gonna stay like this for a second. Okay. We could have made this very easy.
To be honest, contraceptives should be free. Isn't there places you can get them for free? Like, I'm pretty sure there's places you can get condoms for free. What am I thinking of? I'm lost. I can't think of it. Planned Parenthood. There it is. Yeah.
I'm okay with them right now.
Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, you misfired your brain. That's okay. You need the fire department? Okay.
I'm actually curious though, like, why is this entire building completely ransacked and empty of nothing? Like, it's all gone, everything.
Well, you're the one that stuffed it all the way down. Alright, we'll sit up this, bud.
Wait, did he have to grab stuff out of his balls? Wait, what? All the way down by your dick? Oh, he got a smile.
Well, you're the one that stuffed it.
Dude, look at him. He got excited when he reached down there. A little bit to the left. A little bit to the left. Start gooning. Officer, start gooning.
All the way down by... Alright, we'll sit up this, bud. Alright, let's stand up.
It's probably Kmart. I don't think it's Kmart.
Alright, man. We'll walk out here.
Bro's going through it. I mean, if he's stealing condoms, he's definitely going through it. This looks like a CVS or something.
We're gonna go out to this car right here. You go and sit on the push bar for a second. You can cop charge. Okay. What?
Ritien? What the I've never sure of that.
Sure, that works. They pointed him out to me. I didn't know how I thought. Well, it's pretty close. So I go and I contact him. He's pretty cool. He has pulling up a box with items. Okay, come over here. And I can see just bulges. I'm like, you want to take that out? And I was like, wait a second.
You could see his bulge?
Yeah, I went to reach
and you asked him to take out his bulge?
I thought I felt something hard, so I grabbed his hands.
And you felt something hard? Yo. Hey, yo, hold up.
I pulled him behind his back, and I said, what we're going to do, you're going to stay like this for a second, detain you in handcuffs. And he's like, whoa,
notices your bulge?
So I did a quick leg sweep to the ground, put him on the ground, held him there. Then he gave up on the ground, and Lance came in.
Kevin? Yes, sir. All right, Kevin spelled Kevin. All right. Kevin, are you going to have any warrants as well?
All right. You got names?
I got names.
Since you're in handcuffs, I'm going to read this to you and I'll talk to you more, okay? If you'd like to talk to me. All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything against you in the court of law.
You know, I like feel a little bit bad for this guy, but at the same time, he was so casual about stealing, like, you know that he probably has done it plenty of times before, you know? Like, he was so casual about it.
Decide at any time to exercise his rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand your rights?
Yep.
Okay. Question. When I said that...
Gay month is over, relax. Yeah, I forgot, guys. Sorry, guys, Pride month's over. Gays, get out, alright? Get out of here. You're not allowed anymore. No more gay.
You're going to be detained, not under arrest. Why did you decide to tense up on me and say, whoa, 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 when I said, no, you're not going to do that?
Oh, yeah, I was like, this is illegal.
How's that illegal?
It's not.
No,
I had a misfire.
It is. It happens to the best of us. But when a cop tells you that you're going to be detained and you start to tense up, do you understand why you want your stomach?
Yeah, you're good. I would never try to
I got
that.
Sorry, guys.
Keep being honest.
Yeah.
So, keep being honest, man. So you were in there, you were putting all those items in the box. Were you going to walk out of here without paying?
In California, I've seen people walk up to shoplifters and they just admit it like it's a Tuesday. Yeah, because it probably happens a lot. I mean, especially in, like, Walmarts and stuff. It needs to stop streaming then? Why? I haven't been gay once this entire stream. My gay subscription ran out and gotta wait till next year.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Hey, again, I respect that, you being honest with me. Okay? Is this the first time you've been in here doing this? Like this store specifically?
Confirm. I've never been trespassing here.
I didn't know, I'm not gay.
Shoplifted here before? It's not like I have video of me doing it before. Okay. First time in here, you just go in there. Where did you get the box from? Was that your box or was it in here?
It just was in here.
It's just been in here?
Yeah.
You grabbed it, started to fill it up, and then you're just going to walk out?
There was already stuff in the box.
Oh, you just started to put more stuff in it?
That wasn't my box. I was like, yeah. I froze up for this. Yeah, it's mine, yeah.
Okay. And then I saw you putting stuff in it. And then you're just going to grab it and walk out?
No,
you had no
I wasn't
intention?
going to take the box at all. I was going to take the box and I was going to stuff in my pockets.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
so you had stuff in your pockets, you were planning to just walk out with that?
Yeah, no,
you had no intention of paying for the items?
I was going to shop with, yeah.
It is what it is.
I mean, at least he's up front with it. I give him that.
I know the items don't seem like big items. It was like sold and stuff. Were they to sell later or for personal use?
For personal use only. I don't have anything out here. And,
okay. Where do you live at?
I live in Pacific.
Pacific? Yeah. What are you doing here in Kent?
I'm just here right now because I wound up here. I have to get on the bus. Kind of on impulsive decision.
Okay.
Impulsive decision, yeah.
You want to hang with him for a second?
Yeah.
I'll get photos, see what they want.
Yeah,
if you just want to verify the trespass, he hasn't been trespassing here.
Can I tell you something that you can maybe put in your report?
That we can put in our report?
Yeah.
Sure.
I was attacked a couple years ago. You know, the police were involved in attacking me. It was brutal, and I've been too afraid to tell anybody.
The police attacked you in Arlington?
Police and some people that work at the mental health facility.
Okay.
I've never been checked into one involuntarily. I've been to one before, and there was no infractions.
Hold up, this is getting deep. The rabbit hole gets deeper. Wait a second.
So I have no mental health record. But when I went there at the same time, they attacked me. And a man tried to break my neck twice. And then I went into shock and woke up. The police were scaring me, pretending to stop on me. And I held my breath.
Pretending to stop on me?
Gonna be dead until I passed out.
I'm sorry to hear that, Cap.
What the fuck? Alright. First time on the live. Love your YouTube vids. Welcome, Mommy.
And I didn't know what to do. The cops were involved, so I'm just afraid. Ever since then, I've had this voice in my head talking to me, putting me down every day. And I'm trying to get my life together and get a job again. But I think I stole my kidney or something, to be honest with you.
Never do that again, please. Why? What? Why not? You didn't have to do that? What are you guys talking about?
Because ever since I did that same day of attack, I went home the next day, and there's a voice in my head.
Yeah.
Schizophrenia.
It's got
That's affected your kidney?
I believe so, because...
Alright, I don't know, bro. It's starting to sound like you're talking out of your ass.
The only reason why I would have been out there at all, or the only reason why anyone would ever do that and keep me distracted is because they were trying to keep me from going to the hospital. I woke up, I woke up with the yellow hospital blankets all over me, and I was just sleeping out in the middle of the town, you know, it was still hot.
I have no idea what this guy is saying. Anyone else? Anyone got any clue what this guy's saying?
So, like, people have been putting me under at night and doing hospital stuff wherever I'm at. Since that incident.
Yeah, this guy needs help. Yeah, this guy needs help.
Like, does that make sense?
Not entirely.
Okay.
I mean, like...
It's coordinated. I went to Auburn Medical twice. They wouldn't let me see anyone in the emergency room.
Huh.
Because we were just like, we can't. And like, they didn't say it, but then I fell asleep in the waiting room, and they let me sleep for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, well, that's nice of them.
It was nice of them. And, you know, if it is that coordinated, then that's what it is. Right? That's kind of like, what are you going to do? You're just a civilian, and you're a drug addict, you fell off. So, but I just wanted to tell somebody right now because they jarred me. So that's all. Thank you.
Do you think the jail will be able to take on this?
I mean, good on the cop for letting him yap for a little bit. I mean, it didn't really get him anywhere, but he let him yap.
That email yesterday, whatever. At least I know. Yeah. Okay, here's what's gonna happen, my man. Your lucky day. Jail has too many people in there. They don't want you.
Oh!
But what I'm still gonna do, I'm gonna take you there. You're gonna get your fingerprinted, and then you'll be cited at large, basically, for your crime. So you're still gonna go down there, get fingerprinted. They'll release you tonight, within maybe an hour, if that, and then you'll be fine to get out of here.
Having a bit of
Okay.
a day, if I'm
That's
honest.
surprising. That's, wow. That's actually, wow. Kind of
Well,
chill
a
from these
skills-
cops, not gonna lie. Kind of chill. I dig it. I mean, you know me, Chad. You know me. I'm all for stealing all the time. Remember, guys? Remember when I said it wasn't a big deal to steal necessities, right? Because we live in an economy where you basically have to survive. But everyone thinks I mean laptops, expensive material, and other things. That's what they think I mean. And people reselling stuff, they also think I mean that. So basically, that means that I support all shoplifting all the time. But Pig, if he was stealing bananas, if it's a banana though, hell yeah.
And then you'll just have a court date later.
Just
That'll make sense?
bananas.
Cited, a court date for what?
Because you shoplifted, you obstructed arrest.
I'm getting a court date for this? That doesn't make sense to me at all. I want to fight you on that.
You can, at your court date. It's going to be for the obstruction.
Can't. If I'm not going to jail for a court date for the rant, then you can't take me to jail.
Well, at least give me a card. Yeah.
Just take the dub, bro. Just take the W and be happy about it, man. Don't ask for more.
All right, come on.
I'm just trying to talk about the water. I do know some little bit with water. That's all.
That's okay. We're going to go just right here in the car.
Okay.
We already...
So it's cited at large?
Give me 1 second.
I'm an ex-criminal. You can't cite me at large.
Just take the W and be happy about it, bro. Like, just accept that you got caught and take it. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man.
It means you get a citation in the mail.
Law? You have a breaking law? No.
Stealing food equals a meal, stealing a computer and flipping equals many foods? I didn't say that.
You historically broke the law. You already...
There's one of them going to jail right now.
You are going to jail to be fingerprinted, and then you're going to be released.
Kevin Sage, Baldwin, cameras.
Okay, you're all on cameras on.
Oh, I don't trust you guys because you just said I'm cited at large. What does that mean at large?
It means you're getting a piece of paper in the mail to your mailing address.
Okay, but I don't have any warrants, right? No. So why am I going to jail? I can't get me in jail right now.
You're not going to jail. Dude, I swear this guy doesn't listen. It's honestly frustrating listening to this guy get, like, such a chill sentence. Like, not even a sentence. He gets let off free, and he's still complaining.
Sir, you let orders don't come out. I already know that.
How many bananas do you have to steal until it's as bad as a MacBook? The entire stock of the store. Maybe not even. No, you need more than that.
Alright, go ahead and slide on out, my man. When you come out, I'll have you face towards this back tire here. We'll get you out of handcuffs. When I take you out,
got
take
the
your
dub
left hand
and
out
wasn't
first,
happy.
you're gonna put it on top of the car. Does that make sense to you? Yep. Perfect. No, bear.
That's comparing apples to bananas? Alright, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. That was pretty good. Pretty good joke.
Why does he look terribly tired? Because he just got out of here. He doesn't remember what it was for, though. Alright, man. Yep, have a good night. That address that you told me is current. Yeah. That's where you'll get your citations at large, okay? Means you'll get a court date for trespass and obstruction arrest, okay? Or not trespass, shoplift. Have a good night, man. Next time I tell you you're gonna go in handcuffs, just let it happen and we'll make it easier, okay?
Kevin was charged with shop.
Wow, that was such a chill interaction.
Obstruction. He is innocent until
W cops.
guilty in a court of law.
See, guys, we do watch videos of good cops. All you idiots telling me I never watch videos of good cops? These guys are chill as fuck. Stealing expensive material goods can get you more food than stealing food. Once thereof, you're taking less risk stealing one time and reselling it than stealing food multiple times and keep. I guess it's a good point, but it's a lot harder to steal a laptop than it is to steal food. You know what I mean? Like they got security shit on that. You know what I'm saying? Now it's time.
Yeah, it was wonderful to see everyone. Nice to be back on set. To be aiming for something that's bigger and better.
So, since everyone keeps whining that apparently I only watch videos of bad cops all the time, and never any good cops, let's watch this hero cop rescuing 100+ animals trapped in a house of horrors. Horrors. Not horrors. 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 Horrors.
Okay, do you guys have like 20 dead dogs in your basement?
Oh.
There's like some right there on the edge of that door. Dude, there's everywhere. There's cats everywhere. I just saw that one right there, so. And then there, in this kennel, there's a dead rat, and there's another live one running around. You?
You know this whole operation's illegal, right? Oh my God.
On December 9th, 2022, a repairman alerted the Milwaukee police that a house he had just serviced was full of
Wisconsin?
dogs living in unimaginable conditions.
Wisconsin!
As the officers began to navigate the twisting maze
Animal hoarding is so terrible. Yeah, I live next to someone who did this shit.
of this disgusting house, they quickly discovered that there were more animals in need, including some very peculiar creatures that they wouldn't have imagined finding, and rescuing all of them could prove deadly. As officers arrive at the house in question, they aren't quite sure what to expect. While they were prepared for resistance from the owner, Larry McAdoo, they were surprised.
McAdoo? Now that's a name. Damn, and we say that pig's house is a zoo. Alright, guys, I actually take care of my pets.
Is to find him friendly and cooperative.
Hello. Hey, how you doing? Hey, doing pretty good, boss. So you had to call about some dogs being out and about in the basement? Everything okay?
Yeah. Oh, no, the WNG people was here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they just put the meter in.
Immediately, the officers notice something that will become a running theme with Larry. Even though he enthusiastically responds to the officer's question, he doesn't actually give them an answer.
Do you guys keep a lot of dogs? How many dogs do you guys keep?
So we do the little house sitting and whatnot.
So what?
I'll be doing the house sitting.
I'll say, so you don't actually live here, or they?
I own this house.
You own this house?
Yeah, so I own it.
Can own the dogs?
Well, not really. I'm just keeping for me and my cousin. He's in Phoenix, Arizona right now. So he'll be back
How many dogs do you have?
Personally,
Trying to keep them out of the
How many
house,
dogs do you
yeah.
have in the house right now?
they all small dogs. Maybe like 6.
Eager to check on the dog's safety, the officers have Larry lead them to the basement where they're kept.
Is it bad they don't want the same thing that happened to diddlers in jail to happen to these people? No. These people are horrible.
However, as the officers get their first look into Larry's home, the clutter and filth within fill them with disgust. Unfortunately for them, it only gets worse as they descend into the bowels of the house.
Oh.
We got a lot of cats down here.
Oh. Like, how the hell can people... Like, I don't understand.
There's 2 right here.
The little doggies, man.
2 right here. Where's there? 6?
6? There's 100 plus. What is he hiding?
Can we walk through real quick, boss?
If you can, please don't shoot him.
What do you mean by shoot him? Why would we shoot him?
No, they get loose.
Oh.
Yeah. The one that got the over there. Not their bullet.
He's oddly inviting. Yeah, maybe he's just delusional and doesn't realize what he's doing is wrong.
The officer is taken aback by Larry's strange comment and demeanor. If he wasn't worried before about the dogs getting loose and attacking, he certainly is now. As officers take stock of the dogs in the basement, they notice that Larry hasn't been truthful about how many dogs he has.
I mean, I'm not the smartest man in the world. So, yeah, 6 dogs down here.
Yeah, they're ours.
So you have 6 dogs you're watching, and then the rest are yours?
Yeah. These 2 are on the phone.
Okay.
TV News. In fact, called owners.
Kennels made of what the fuck? Yeah, no.
Hey, hold on. I'm about to go. Owners are okay with you having it like this? Yeah, we haven't been able to clean. You know what happened here? We haven't been able to clean up yet.
While Larry tries to call some of the owners, the officers truly take in the suffering of the dogs around them. Everywhere they look, there's fecal matter caking the ground, the walls, and in some horrific cases, even matted onto the dogs themselves. While the dogs do have buckets in their kennels with water, the water is murky and yellow, and for some dogs, the bucket is too big for them to be able to drink from. Similarly, only some of the dogs have access to food, and those that don't are seen eating dead rats.
Okay! Oh! Bro! Okay, alright. Oh my god.
There are way more dogs than the officers were expecting, and things could get dangerous if one of these dogs decides to snap.
You know this whole operation's illegal, right? You know better than this. It's not safe.
Tell him!
Housing-wise, there's electrical cords all throughout your yard. You have a dog outside, it's cold outside. I can see this dog's rib cages.
Which dog?
This dog right here. Did you see that dog with the mouth thing?
The other one too. So that's right, him by him or whatnot, but they have.
Oh yeah, that's the dog's fault. It's the dog's fault that they're starving. Yeah. Blame the fucking dog.
Look at the amount of fecal matter that's on the floor.
The lady's coming to get the dog now. Put your hand back. Are you serious?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, put your hand back. Animal. I run the nature versus nurture curriculum.
Please don't do that.
Dude, come on. There's no way you're that delusional, man. Like,
Put your hands behind your back. Let this officer cover you, okay?
Yeah, y'all, come on now.
Like that. There's a lot of fecal matter, dude.
You got any weapons on you?
I'm gonna call Meta. Okay? Because all these dogs are gonna
absolute
have to go.
bum behavior.
Larry mentions that he runs the Nature versus Nurture curriculum, a program he started to teach others how to safely care for animals. The irony of this is...
See, okay, maybe this guy is delusional. Like, hear me out. What if he's just a dude who, like, believes that he's, like, doing something good? What if he's that fucking delusional? Like, I can't even tell anymore. I feel like anyone who does this should have to live in a house after the animals are taken, but aren't allowed to leave. Wait, what do you mean? Who does this should have to live in the house after the animals are taken. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. You can be delusional and still be held responsible. I never said he's not responsible. I'm just saying, like, it's hard to believe that this guy would be delusional, but I don't even know. It's hard to tell. Yeah, he might be in denial. I'm not saying that obviously I'm not saying that makes it okay. I'm just, like, astonished if that's the case.
It is impossible for the officers to ignore, with Facebook posts stating that pet therapy is a true empathy builder. It's a wonder that Larry could be so hypocritical to keep animals in such appalling conditions. Even though Larry has been officially arrested, the night is far from over.
Oh my God.
While waiting for MADAC, the Milwaukee Area Domestic Animal Control Commission, to arrive, the officers can't stop talking about the state of the basement.
This probably was the worst that I've ever seen. Bad.
Another rat.
Bad.
Another rat. Freaking rat just ran out. You good? Hey.
Man, I want to just adopt all of these dogs and just buy a farm, man. Dude, honestly, that, like, me and my wife want to do that. Like, if I ever make a shitload of money, I want to buy a farm and get a buttload of dogs. Like, adopt a shitload of dogs and just, like, give them a super nice life. That's what I want to do.
There's like some right there on the edge of that door. Dude, there's everywhere. There's cat everywhere. I just saw that one right there, so. And then in this kennel, there's a dead rat, and there's another live one running around.
The officers soon realize that there's more of the property to explore. As they take their search to the backyard, it becomes clear that the dogs in the basement aren't the only animals in desperate need.
Dude, there's no way, bro.
Of rescue.
Oh, big guys.
Oh, no. In the back too, when it's freezing and snowing, dude.
Got cane corso. Not sure what that is. But look at the fecal matter. I see you. See you, big boy. I got you. Rottweiler. Dude. I'll be right there. I got a Rottweiler here. Oh, there's another. Hey, dude, relax.
Oh man, you're probably freezing with short fur. Yeah, I know. Why would this guy even get this many dogs? Like we said, I think he's actually delusional because, like, animal hoarding is a thing, and I think this guy actually does think that he's doing good, but he's just so stupid and delusional.
Yep, no, he's chained up in that pen outside.
He's chained?
Yeah, he's chained up in the pen outside.
It's like a Beethoven.
Oh, St. Bernards.
Mental illness, yeah.
Hey, 3 St. Bernards. You guys good?
I mean, I don't know. He didn't say anything about selling him. Maybe he's selling him too. I don't know.
4 St. Bernards.
Oh, they're so cute, dude.
Okay, so I got 4 St. Bernards. I got cane corso. I can't tell a mixed breed.
How could he sell them in that condition? When I got Millie, she was covered in dog shit, and I don't know where she came from, but it was like a dog mill, which I didn't know. I just found her on a a dog selling website, and when I got her, she was like covered in shit. She was like skinny. She was scared as shit, and it was pretty bad. So I'm sure that he could probably still sell dogs in this situation.
Rottweiler. And then there's another breed with a long snout. It kind of looks like it's a hound. I'm not sure what kind of hound that is. And there's another cane corso up there. There's so much dog in there, it's unreal.
Much to the officer's surprise, the conditions in the backyard are somehow worse than the basement. The ground has been completely submerged in a grotesque mixture of fecal matter and mud, leaving the dogs no safe space to lie down. As Officer Holston counts the dogs outside, he makes an interesting observation that may reveal a dark secret from Larry. There aren't just 2 of each breed in the kennels. There are 2 of each gender, leading the
There it is! See? I knew it! There it is. He is breeding them.
to suspect that Larry might be running an illegal breeding operation. Continuing to explore the yard, officers make the distressing discovery that one dog doesn't even have a roof over its head.
There's my kite closer. Here. Yeah, you got it? Okay, perfect. Come on.
So far, the officers have been able to assess the situation without any trouble. However, that all changes when Larry's family arrives home to find him in handcuffs. As they file in the door, Officer Sramala catches them up to speed.
I gotta call you back though. Mom's on scene. I gotta call you back. Okay, bye.
What is he getting arrested for?
Okay, sure. Just calm down. Take it easy. Take some deep breaths from me, okay? Just take some deep breaths from me, all right? So I'll explain it to you if you're gonna be cool and not flip out, okay?
Why are they wearing like astronaut jackets? They look like the Michelin Man.
Take the third.
What are those jackets, bro?
Is that your dad or? Okay, so I arrested him today because some of those conditions down there are deplorable. Some of those dogs are near death. Okay, sir, just listen. The last thing I want to do is arrest someone. Okay, I can't look the other way with some of that stuff that's going on down there. Okay, but I can guarantee you there's like 3 dogs down there that are near death. They're gonna have to get put down because of their medical.
Let's keep pushing balls out.
We're gonna wait because Maddox's en route, and if you guys would like, I will gladly show you guys which dogs are near death.
Larry's sons clearly doubt Officer Sramala's words, but a brief glance into the basement would show that she's telling the truth. The officers are struggling to believe that not a single person in this house has noticed how unhealthy the dogs are.
Man, are all of them that delusional? Like, how?
I just got home.
When was the last time you were down there, sir?
3 days ago.
Okay, well, I'm telling you.
When you left.
There's no way they're all that delusional, bro.
I don't live here. I live
Okay.
in the country.
Okay, so I'm telling you right now, sir, based off my experience and common sense, that the way those conditions are down there takes years to come like that. Do you get what I'm saying?
I understand.
So, yeah.
A lot of them dogs just came here.
Young man, some of that stuff is piled. It's just piled on top of each other. Yes, sir, go ahead.
A lot of my dad do take in a lot of dogs. Yeah, and the dogs that they talking about is they came from other people.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the owners right there.
There's 3 dogs down there that are sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're so he actually does board dogs. So the downstairs is for dog boarding? Oh no. So he actually is boarding animals.
They're in your they're in your dad's care right now. I know that your dad knows the proper conditions a dog should be in.
As Officer Stromala continues to speak with Larry's sons, she's still unaware of the crazy discoveries that await her in this house.
There's
of
still
horrors.
more?
I don't know. So the last thing I want to do is arrest your dad. But those dogs, you have to get dogs medical care.
Yes, I'm saying.
And if those aren't his dogs, and he felt somewhat concerned for their health, or how malnourished they are, why wouldn't he call MADA? Or why wouldn't
Thank you, Fenada,
call in for us to come get those dogs and get them the proper medical care that they need? He's just as responsible as the other person is, even if those aren't his dogs.
Attention.
Matic? I don't know what Matic is. I assume it's like, animal,
Start to die down with the family, and Officer Stromala notices something that could be putting everyone's lives in danger.
Well, my concern is all these cords, like something's gonna set on fire. I mean, there's cords everywhere. Because there was no heat. That's why Re-Energies was called out here. Because your gas has been shut off for months.
So they just leave their stove on for heat. Oh no.
Re-Energies said they've been trying to get into here for a very long time. Of course they have.
Yeah. I wonder whether you want them in here.
Yeah.
Eager to finish their search of the house, Officer Stromala gets ready to explore the upper floors of the house, completely unaware of the dangerous creatures that await her.
Do you have more dogs upstairs?
Where?
Upstairs?
Not sure. Y'all gonna go up there anyway, right?
I don't want to be lied to though, or
Not right. Not sure.
can you just give me a heads up so I'm not surprised?
Oh, you have to ask my little brother.
Is it like their family dog, like the dog that they care for on a daily basis?
I'm not sure. I don't live here no more.
Young man, I just don't want to be blindsided.
The son's strange response has Officer Stromala confident he's hiding something from her.
Definitely.
Determined to get to the bottom of this strange case, officers immediately begin navigating their way through the second floor.
Oh my god.
Oh no. It's gonna be like gerbils, ferrets.
They got
Alright, so if you're trying to get the iOS 18 beta, but it's not...
Yeah, bro. Oh, that's a fucking large. That's a bird.
Yeah, they got parents. Oh, hey, Sergeant. We got more,
Honestly, I just wanted to keep my dragon. Alright. This is not working. Oh wait.
we got parents over here.
Yeah, I got it.
Look away. That's your eyes over.
No, but like, no,
Feels like a dream, feels like magic. Now I believe I can have. All of my wishes came true.
Skip that shit.
saw like police.
How the fuck is the house even like this, man? How do people even live here?
What the hell? Why is that?
There's like a pool in here.
Never mind, I'm being dumb. Guitar is not my first instrument. So.
Fragment?
Oh, wait.
We still have. We still haven't colonized Mars.
What's the fragment? We.
My shit.
Pool in here.
Keep it open.
Oh! Oh God.
We still haven't colonized Mars. Alright, so if you're trying to get the iOS 8.
Like a truck. I don't know that song. Who's that by?
No!
Oh, what is that called? It'll be a while. They have a heel. Last time.
Have a heel?
They got a heel.
Yeah.
An eel? They have an eel?
Yeah, they have an eel in here.
What the fuck? What?
With eels and birds now in the mix, it's beginning to dawn on the officers that they truly have no idea what other animals could be lurking in the house. While speaking to an owner of one of the dogs, Officer Sormala gets the most shocking update about the attic.
Hispanic, you're gonna need another vehicle. You're gonna need more.
Why?
It's bad.
Why?
Chickens.
Upstairs?
Chickens? Chickens? What? Bro, lag spike? Alright. Spectrum! Stop! Spectrum! Okay, we're good, right? Okay, we're good.
Chickens? Oh, here's chickens. Cause my dad, he worked.
Chickens? Spectrum fix. It worked.
What?
He worked for the schools. He go inside the schools and teach.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like to teach.
Let me
There's no way. Okay, so this guy is delusional.
go see this.
Oh, the doggy!
Alright, just so you know, I went upstairs into the attic, and there is tarantulas, bearded dragons, lizards.
Oh, look at the bearded ew, bro! How do you even make it that dirty?
I am dead serious.
How do you even make it that disgusting, bro?
Alligators. I'm gonna call you back.
Alligators? Bro's got alligators? Wow.
Just so you know, we came up in the attic and there's alligators, spiders, snakes, all different types of animals.
Raccoon, bears, chinchillas.
Yes.
Raccoons, pigs, chinchillas? And you guys think I have a lot of animals?
Raccoons.
Turtles?
Okay.
And the alligators.
Do you want to step downstairs for me?
Alligators.
Do you want to step downstairs for me?
I'm picking every single animal from the dog, so I'm sure we're picking them all. But
Может, я не прав, ты тоже не права.
I got tarantulas. I don't know if I need another supervisor boss. Yeah, you boss.
Wow.
We'll take pictures of everything, but it's
Dude, you can even hear the little squeaks of the bunnies.
Oh my
oh yeah.
God.
I ain't never seen this many animals in my life. So
By the way, chat, when an animal squeaks like that, it's normally not the best sign. When an animal's making bunnies don't make that noise. Yeah, they do.
There's an alligator in there. There's an alligator in there.
every animal off.
As officers continue to...
It's guinea pigs. It could be either. Those are guinea pigs. Guinea pigs squawk like that. Yeah, bunnies also make noises like that, chat. So do chinchillas. I don't know if you guys know that. You're talking to someone who has both of those animals. So yes, I do know that. They purr, but they don't squeak. Holy shit! You are talking to someone who owns these animals! Shut up! Shut up! I know more than you! Shut up! God damn it! Oh God, I'm so done with it. I'm so done with you idiots! Actually, Mr. What the Sigma, Mr. Pig? Let me explain to you what it actually... Shut up!
For the attic, they also discover a hidden enclosure where Larry had kept a turkey, some ducks, and a goat. Although not obvious at a glance, the living conditions in the attic are deplorable. The most obvious issue is that the attic isn't being heated, and the few lamps Larry has aren't strong enough to keep the reptiles warm. Many of the animals in the attic are also in critical condition.
You guys want to know why I know that bunnies do that? Because my bunny, Peepo, had an issue with mites on his back because he has long fur, and sometimes long-furred bunnies can get mites. And whenever he itched his back, he made that exact noise. We got it fixed, we got him medicine, he's all better now, but he made that noise whenever that was happening. So I am telling you guys from experience, it could have been a different animal, it could have been the ferrets. A lot of small animals make the same noise, but I'm telling you that when a bunny makes that noise, it means they are uncomfortable. It means they are not happy, right?
A raccoon is discovered in a cage with both of its...
I was trying to be a dick. Bunny shouldn't be making that noise is what I meant. No problem. I just like to yell at chat. All right? That's it.
Legs broken, eventually leading to it being put down due to the severity of these injuries.
Oh, no.
Larry's geckos are found with shed skin stuck to their limbs, which could easily lead to limbs being lost.
Oh, no.
Tragically, one of the geckos died before Madak was able to rescue it, and another was discovered dead and dried up in one of the enclosures.
Oh,
While
my
Madak
God.
works to move the animals into a safe environment, an inspector from DNS, the Department of Neighborhood Services, realizes that animals aren't the only ones in danger in the house.
So, DNS might deem the house inhabitable. So that means you guys aren't going to be able to come back here tonight. And you'll eventually might be able to come back once the animals are out. I don't know. I don't know what DNS, I don't know what their rules and regulations
I can
are.
imagine all the diseases and shit in that
I think
house
that's easier.
just from
We
all of
still
the
haven't
animals
come
getting sick
after
and
that.
sitting in their own shit all the time.
Beneath the clutter and filth that consumes Larry's home,
No
there
way!
are telltale signs of instability. Not only does the family have to constantly run the stove because they have no heat, but the bathroom on the main floor has no
You
running
think
water.
that height...
The McAdoo family had somehow been living in a hazardous house for years.
Dude, imagine if this house caught on fire, though. Every animal would die. Thank God they caught it.
It was coming to an end tonight. As officers from Mala predicted, the DNS inspector claimed the home is unsafe,
Okay, next topic.
and they were forced to leave alongside the animals. While Larry was ultimately responsible for the health of the animals he took in, his constant protests had the police questioning how much he really knew about the state of the house.
Liked me. I'm telling you,
Determined to get the
everyone's
truth, a detective
I've been
sat
dealt
down to
very
interview
bad
with him.
cards in my life.
Why do you have so many
No
animals?
one's ever liked me. Everyone was always mean to me.
Technically, you're supposed to use these. I didn't even know these was in this condition. I saw those dogs in the basement.
You didn't
I guess if
know
you knew
they
you're
were in
probably
that
very
condition.
confused,
What?
But like every...
I've been paying for this stuff.
So I'm very...
They have been doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Who? Who's...
You think that... Got wrestling kind...
Same rule?
Может, я не прав, ты тоже не права. Я надавал и...
You're supposed to take care of them. What?
Okay. Are you selling these animals?
No, I was keeping them.
Any animals? Did you sell any of them?
I wasn't gonna sell any of them. What we wind up doing is just taking in too many for other people.
You don't have a Facebook page where you're selling these animals?
No, I have a Facebook page where other people, you know, they gotta send me pictures of their dogs to get rid of.
Okay. And you don't know how it got to be that you got 14 dogs all living in their own feces?
I know how it got to be. They can clean up.
Who's they? You're blaming your kids? No way.
They didn't clean up.
There's no way.
They got paid.
He's actually trying to sell out his kids.
How old are your kids?
16, 17, and then the 18 one was the one who was he was the number one majority, but Randy's the one supposed to be cleaning up.
Though Larry is attempting to shift the blame to his kids,
Dude, what a fucking horrible human. Treating animals like that and then trying to throw your children under the bus.
would eventually change his tune and accept responsibility, clearing his sons of any wrongdoing or culpability in causing the unsanitary conditions.
So the felony charge of animals should fall on their shoulders?
No, it shouldn't fall on their shoulders. Okay. I'm just saying,
who's responsible for those?
I'm responsible. That's what I said. I'm responsible.
I appreciate this. I respect it.
After all was said and done, Mad Axe saved 113 animals from Larry's house.
How do you even fit that many animals in that house? I know there's small animals, but 113? How?
Of horrors, with some of the strangest rescues, including 2 alligators, 4 chinchillas, 7 hedgehogs, and 1 goat.
Wait, let me look at all these. 24 dogs, 23 birds, 14 rats, 8 hamsters, 7 hedgehogs, 6 lizards, 6 rabbits, 5 guinea pigs, 4 cats, 3 tortoises, alligators, chinchillas, snakes, goat, ferret, raccoon,
and 1 goat. Despite
Thank you, Psycho Nezumi, for the tier 1.
Having to handle many odd and threatening creatures like the eel or alligators, the only animal that proved to be a danger was the agitated goat, which kept headbutting officers as it was led out of the house. However, not all the animals could be saved. A chicken and a French bulldog were both deemed too ill and had to be euthanized on December 14th, 2022.
I mean, honestly, the fact that all of them survived, except 2, is kind of good, you know? Like, you would expect more.
And as it was given 2 felony mistreatment of animals charges and 10 negligently provide improper animal shelter charges. As part of a plea deal, Larry pled guilty to 2 misdemeanors and had the rest of his charges dismissed. For his horrific treatment of the animals in his care, Larry was sentenced to 6 days in the community.
Animal cruelty of 113 animals, and bro gets 6 days. You know he's gonna do it again. You know he's gonna get a bunch of animals again. That's insane.
Community Reintegration Center. Additionally, Larry was prohibited from keeping any animals for 1 year, with an exception being made for 2 dogs and 2 birds, which were returned to him by Mad Axe. As for the animals taken from him,
and they give him animals back. I can't even. I don't even know what to say to that. Thank goodness we have such an amazing judicial system. I know, right? They literally gave him animals back after this.
Those that survived were able to make recoveries under Mad Axe's care and are all looking for new homes.
Wow. Wow. That's horrible. I hated that. I hated every second of that. Now it's time to walk away. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Did you laugh? Oh. So much of my family is gay. Good. We need more gays, chat. We need more gays. Let me rephrase that. We need more open gays. Oh, guys, Pride Month is over. We can't be gay anymore. It's July, guys. No more gays. God damn it. Get in the closet, guys. Hurry. Everyone back in the closet. Hurry. Pride Month is over. No more rainbows. Less gay now. Quick, hide the gays. The moment that cops accidentally become killers, it's gonna be a nice change of pace, right, guys? Put the rainbows away till next year. Yeah, gays. Yeah, all of you in the LGBTQ plus community, like your time's over. All right, your time's over.
These were moments when cops unintentionally became murderers. Let's begin with the most tragic incident, as officers unknowingly placed a suspect in a squad car that was later struck by a moving train.
Stop right there. Get down on one knee and then the other.
I got cuffs.
Go ahead.
Good?
I already have so many questions. I have a slew of questions right now.
Keep your hands above your head.
Don't move.
What's going on? Ma'am, what's going on? I'll tell you in a second. Take a seat. So confused. Can I get my seat? I will get your cell phone for you. Take a seat.
As you can see, the suspect Rios Gonzalez, who was arrested for allegedly brandishing a firearm from her car earlier, was placed in the back of the officer's car, which was parked on railroad tracks.
Why though? Why would you do that? You have room.
Despite being fully aware of her responsibility for the suspect's safety, the officer left her alone in the car on the tracks while searching her pickup truck for firearms, completely disregarding the danger posed by their squad car's location.
It took her a long time to pull over. I got a holster right here in the passenger seat. Okay. It took her a very long time to pull over. She could have tossed something back.
Tossed it out the window?
She could have, out that window, but...
Train!
Is that hard?
No.
Train!
Well, that's,
Oh, the negligence. Oh, no.
Move your car! Stay back!
Wow.
patrol car was just hit by a train.
What absolute dumbasses, man. What's that? Train horns. What's that sound? It sounds like a train. What is that?
Dispatch 746, Dennis, medical emergent. The suspect was in the vehicle that was hit by the train.
The scene was horrifying. The helpless suspect could do nothing but watch as the speeding train crashed into the car and struck her.
Okay, I don't even get why you're blurring it. Didn't you show it at the beginning?
And that wasn't the craziest part. While some officers rushed to the scene to check on the well-being of the suspect, others couldn't care less and continued searching for the
I don't even... What, humanity? Humanity? Is there any humanity here, chat? Hello? Humanity? Where are you?
firearm that had prompted the traffic stop in the first place.
There may still be...
Guys, she might be alive, alright? She might still be alive, so let's make sure we get her with something, okay? I know we potentially murdered her, but I don't know, there might still be something we can get her for.
A firearm in the vehicle, I don't know if you guys have been through it yet. You got it? I got a holster here. No, yeah, we've not gone through. We weren't sure if she threw it or if it...
Guys! She's dead! She's dead!
Still in the vehicle somewhere. It took her a long time to pull over, and Platteville said he did not see anything leave the vehicle. Right now,
hello? She's dead!
It's unbelievable how calm the cops were, and they even had the audacity to continue searching her car. The suspect in this case miraculously survived, but the...
Oh, okay, so she can still get tried for the crime. Thank God, dude. Oh, thank God she survived. Because how are we gonna arrest her if she's dead?
Same cannot be said for the next suspect.
Dude, okay, you can't give me 2 minutes of that and not tell me what happens. No suing, no firing, no suspension, nothing. No way, bro, no way. Oh my God. I mean, to be fair, like, it's hard to place the guilt on the cop because, like, the car should have obviously saw them. Like, the car was really far away and should have stopped. Oh, it's technically the car's fault.
February 18th, 2023, Larimer County Sheriff's Deputy Lorenzo Lujan, pulled over a car after running the tags and discovering the registrations were expired. Upon stopping the car, he interrogated the driver, later identified as 28-year-old Brent Thompson, who initially provided a fake name. However, his lies were quickly uncovered during a background check. When the officer returned to confront the driver, Thompson made a grave mistake, one he forever came to regret.
So right now you're under arrest.
Uh-oh!
Stop here, you Stop!
The suspect attempted to evade the police by